All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Clint with the Scottish Clans, and I am having a blast, by the way. This is my first trip ever to Scotland. I've had this podcast for like 6 years. I've read all the academic material, I've read all the stories, not all of them in either of those categories, but a lot. And this is my first time to get on the ground doing it, and I am just out of my mind, having a good time. This behind me right here is Kilchurn Castle. This is the seat of the Campbells of Glen Orchy. Now it's interesting, little note about this location. Let me pan around so you can see this just awesome highland scenery. This is so cool. A little bit of information on this location. So this is Loch Awe, this body of water that the Kilchurn Castle is built on. And Loch Awe, it was the original settlement as the Campbells gained territory in this part of Scotland. Stephen Boardman thinks that the Campbells probably sprang from, in their deepest origins that we can tell, the Britons of Strathclyde. However, they were early in their pedigrees, they would have been Gallicized, and somewhere along the line they gained territory up here, and this became the heartland. The Loch Awe area became the heartland of the Campbells. In fact, before they were the Earls of Argyll, the Campbell chiefs were styling themselves of Loch Awe, so-and-so Campbell of Loch Awe. So this was the heartland. And you can read all about that in Stephen Boardman's book on the Campbells. So it's interesting that Kilchurn Castle is the seat of the Campbells of Glen Orchy, but not usually associated with the Earls of Argyll. That's Inverary Castle, which is south of here. So their heartland is here, but somewhere along the line, and I don't know the year. Maybe if you guys know the year that Inverary is probably a pretty quick Google search or Wikipedia, the year that Inverary Castle was made. But that was when they shift to the south of here onto Loch Fyne, which we took on the way up into this neck of the woods. We're actually staying in Oban right now. But they shifted there. But this area, and especially the head part of Loch Awe, comes into the family, maybe, through an heiress that married a Campbell, the son, a junior son of the Campbells of Loch Awe. And so that's how that it's likely that heiress was a MacAlpin. Now I know you're thinking, oh, that sounds like Kenneth MacAlpin. That I know about, I can't find any scholarly connection or historical record connection between the MacAlpins that held sway in this vicinity. Now we're talking earlier, because the clans that people mostly associate this with, yes, Campbell of Glen Orchy, but also the MacGregors. The MacGregors, if you can see, there's Glen Stray right there. And that's their heartland, this whole area, really. A theory is that the MacGregors, rather than being descended from Kenneth MacAlpin, are a junior branch of the MacAlpins that were dominant in this area up into the 1200s. The Campbells of Glen Orchy did not become established here till way later than that. And I don't know if you look at the Campbells obtaining some of this MacAlpin territory through an heiress marrying into the family, as they acquired a lot of their territories. They acquired a lot of stuff by marrying the right person, which I'm here to tell you, marrying the right person is about the most important thing you could ever do, and I'm not talking about land. Otherwise, that was a little bit of a tangent. Thank you for indulging me there. But I'm speaking from experience because I married the right person. So you have the MacGregors descend maybe from a junior line of the MacAlpins, and they've been here for a long time. And then the Campbells have established the branch of Glen Orchy through marriage maybe into this MacAlpin. And so they become dominant in this area. Now, a lot of people when they think of the MacGregor and Campbell of Glen Orchy relationship, they think of it as one of antagonism. Like the Campbells of Glen Orchy did wage an extermination campaign on the MacGregors. they did that. That really happened. But a lot of people start the history right there and don't look at all the generations before that. And they actually had a very symbiotic relationship. You can read Dr. Martin MacGregor's PhD thesis to learn more about this, where the MacGregors may have been the spearhead into new areas that later the Campbells would extend into legally. The MacGregors may have been occupying it by force originally. And the MacGregors, according to my interview with Dr. Martin MacGregor, which I really encourage you to go check that out, not because I'm awesome, but because he's awesome. He just presented a lot of awesome information there, really interesting. Go check that out. But when the Campbells of Glen Orchy became dominant in this area and established Kilchurn Castle, the MacGregors were on the ground here, and this is common of a lot of clans. When they obtain new territory, they establish a bond with people that are already in that area. So in this case, the Campbells and the MacGregors are kind of an interesting case study that's applicable to a lot of other clans in Scotland. The Campbells gain territory up here. They build their castle of Kilchurn, but the MacGregors are already an established kindred in this area. So they actually have MacGregors filling a lot of positions for them, including the keepers of Kilchurn Castle. I keep on missing it. Kilchurn Castle. And so they have a good relationship, a very cooperative relationship, not an equal relationship necessarily, but where the two of them are working hand in hand. It's mutually beneficial for them. So a lot of people jump into the story way late. In fact, a lot of people jump into the MacGregor story. Back up to Glen Stray there. They'll jump into the MacGregor story when they get outlawed. And that's like way late in the game. That's the early 1600s after the Battle of Glen Fruin. Why are we starting the story there? They go from, the MacGregors were descended from Kenneth MacAlpin, and also they were outlawed. And they jump like centuries. Well, there's a lot more to MacGregor history and their relationship with the Campbells, other than the Campbells tried to exterminate him, and they were eventually outlawed, probably at the Campbells' encouragement. Anyway, just something to think about, something I'm thinking about while I'm here on the ground. Mar sin leven drasta.